Hello and welcome to Beautiful Botanics. I'm Susan and I'm a multidisciplinary artist from sunny Claybank. I studied at the Glasgow School of Art and I've been working in the creative industry since 2012. I'm employed in community arts as a tutor on an interior design project over in Paisley, and I also work as a freelance arts professional doing commissioned illustration and video work mostly at the moment. I also work on my children's illustration portfolio under the pseudonym Zuzia Nova, and I hope to have my own book published in the future. Without further ado, let's get into it. So the first step in the process will show you how to simplify plants and flowers into their most basic forms and sketch out your drawing. We'll focus on the thought process of this by looking first at line and shape to create a map or a skeleton for your botanical illustrations. To get started, you'll need paper, a botanical sample and your latest pencil. I'd recommend 2H or 3H grade. If you're not really sure what I mean by pencil grade, there's some information here and you can press pause just now to see what I mean. To begin with, I would recommend selecting simply shaped plants and flowers to help you practice. You can get them from nature, supermarket or a photo, but if you're getting them from nature, be responsible. The first and most important thing to try and identify in your plant sample are any recognisable lines. Type. Are your lines straight, curved, overlapping? Angles. Look for clear directions and angles where the lines meet. Length. Judge where lines begin and end and mark in guides to help. I've recorded a few wee demos for you to see me drawing in the lines of each plant sample, and you can press pause at any time just to have a closer look. So once we've got the lines down, the next thing we want to try and focus on is shape. Are there any recognisable shapes in the sample? Most objects can be broken down into combinations of basic shapes. The nature of a shape can help provide more information. Are they rounded or pointed? And remember, we're using this as a guide, it doesn't need to be perfect. When I'm mapping my shapes in, you can see how rough and sketchy I'm being putting them down, and honestly at this point that's as much as you need to do. Please don't be too precious or worry too much about getting it perfect. All we're doing is putting in something that we can amend later and build on. For me, this really is the most important part of the whole process, so just to summarise that it's key to break things down. I do it in my work all the time. Keeping your lines light and loose to begin with so they're easier to erase later. And finally, practice. That is the most important aspect of this. This is how you really learn and you start to see things differently. So next time we'll be focusing more on seeing while we draw, looking at the detail and how to identify it. Like I said already, this is probably the most important step in the drawing work that I do, and I hope you'll take time to practice it before we move on to the next steps. See you later.